All right, let's do a little math, shall we? Okay, the first thing we have to do is we've got to get our brains warmed up. We got to start thinking right now about math. So I'm going to give you a problem of the day. I'm not going to lie, this one's tricky. We haven't had one like this in a long time. So listen carefully to what it's asking you. Okay, here we go. It says, Sam caught 2 fish in the pond. There were 8 fish left in the pond. So how many fish were in the pond to begin with? Listen again. Sam caught 2 fish in the pond. There were 8 fish left in the pond. How many fish were in the pond to begin with? Okay, so you need to remember the first thing I need to see is a picture. So let's go ahead and let's draw the 2 fish that Sam caught. Here are the 2 fish that Sam caught. Well, then it says there are 8 fish still in the pond. So over here, I'm going to draw my 8 fish still in the pond. Now, I want to know how many fish were in the pond to begin with. Well, if I take the 2 fish that Sam caught and put them back in the pond where they came from with the other 8 fish, I can see how many fish were in the pond, which also makes it easier for me to write my number sentence. 2 fish that Sam caught plus 8 fish in the pond equals 10 fish that were there to begin with. So the answer to my question is, how many fish were in the pond? 2 fish. Not 2, silly Miss Metz. 10 fish were, see where I'm getting my words? In the pond. So now I have a sentence that answers my question. How many fish were in the pond? There were 10 fish in the pond. All right, now let's go ahead and get started with making 10 to add 3 numbers. So the very first thing I'm going to remind you of is we have looked at 3 different ways to show our work. The first way we have is a 10 frame. Next way we have is a number line. And the last way we have is to use our brains and say, oh yeah, we've talked about that. So I know that this number and this number come together to make 10. So we've talked about 3 different ways, and we're going to use all 3 of those ways today to review how to make 10 when we add 3 numbers. So the very first way that we're going to talk about is using our number line, okay? So I'm going to read you the sentence or the problem, and then we're going to work it together. All right. So it says, John has 7 apples. Tommy has 3 apples. And Bo has 5 apples. So how many apples do they have? Well, the first thing that I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and draw this out. So here is John, and he has 7 apples. Do you see John's 7 apples? Then it says Tommy has 3 apples. Do you see Tommy's 3 apples? And then it says Bo has 5 apples. So here are Bo's 5 apples. Okay. Now, what I need to do is I need to figure out how to make 10. So which of these numbers should I start with? I hope you said 7 because that's the one I would have started with too. So I'm going to circle my 7. Now, is there another number up here that we could use to get to 10? Yep, I hope you said 3. So I'm going to mark that out and bounce 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So I made a 10 already. I got to 10. Now I need to figure out how many more I need to go. How many more should I go? I hope you said 5. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So how many apples do they have in all? 15. So I used my number line to figure it out. But what I can also do is write my number sentences. So I'm going to start here with what I had first. 7 plus 3 plus 5. Well, the first thing you told me to do was make it 10. Well, I did. I got my 7 and my 3. So 7 plus 3 equals 10. Do you see that? I took my first two numbers and I made 10. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that number I just made, 10, and swing it down here. So now I have 10. Well, what's the other number that I haven't used yet? I've used 7, I've used 3. I still need to use 5. So now I have a brand new number sentence. Instead of 7 plus 3 plus 5, I can say 10 plus 5, and that's going to give me 15. Did I come up with the same two answers? I sure did. All right, so now let's go for another one. Are we ready? This one says, Anne has 9 red balls and 1 green ball. She also has 2 blue balls. So how many balls does she have in all? Well, first things first, I'm going to go ahead and draw it out in my in my 10 frame. So here are her 9 red balls. Well, then it says she has 1 green ball. Well, look at that. I just made a 10 and I didn't even know it. So 9 and 1 make 10. And then it says she has 2 blue balls. So right here, I can totally see how many balls she has. I see 10 and 2 more. So let's make a number sentence out of that. So we started out with 9 plus 1 plus 2. But I don't want to add all of those. I want to come up with a 10. Can you tell me which two numbers are 10? You should be able to because we did it right here. 9 and 1. So I'm going to come down here and say 9 plus 1, and that's going to give me a total of 10. Do you agree? Same thing that's in my 10 frame. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 10 on down. So there's my 10. Okay? Now I have 10. What's the other number that I haven't used yet? I've already used 9. I've already used 1. I need to use 2. Very good. All right. So 10 plus 2 equals 12. So did we come up with the same answer down here that we did up here with our 10 frame? Yes, we did. Excellent job. Okay, last one. This time we're not going to have a picture. You got to figure out which two numbers are going to make 10 for us, okay? It says Deb has 8 round stickers. She has 4 square stickers. And she has 6 triangle stickers. So the first thing I need to do is remember all of those numbers. So let's go ahead and write them down. She has 8 round stickers. She has 4 square stickers. And she has 6 triangle stickers. Now, I want you to look at these numbers and I want you to tell me, which two numbers am I going to put together to make a 10? I hope you said 6 and 4 and not 8 and 4 because it's trying to trick you. It's put a number at the front that we don't use yet. So the two numbers that go together are going to be 6 and 4. So 6 plus 4 equals what? 10. Very good. It equals 10. So now what do I have to do? I've got to bring that 10 on down. Now, what's the only number that I haven't used yet? Look back at my original number sentence. What have I not used? I have not used 8. So what is 10 plus 8? Exactly, it is 18. Do you see how much easier it is when we make a 10 to add? Can you imagine trying to add all these numbers up and doing all these counting-ons? That'd be crazy town. But look how quickly you were able to do it because you made a 10. Good job. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to do a fact fluency paper, one of those little pieces of paper that you pull out of your baggie, and then you're also going to do in your teddy bear workbook page, you are going to do pages 135 and 136 and take a picture of it and send it to me so I can see how amazing you are at making 10 to add 3 numbers.